Our story begins not with rust, but with its polar opposite, perfection. Utter, calculated, Stuttgart-engineered perfection. It begins with a brand new Mercedes-Benz, a car that is, by every metric, the best or nothing. It is a rolling bank vault, a masterpiece of quiet competence, a symbol of status and flawless engineering. For 99.9% of the population, it is the end of the automotive journey. But this story is about the 0.1%. It's about a man who looked at perfection and felt bored. The legend, the secret history of Brabus, begins in 1977. The man was Bodo Buschmann, a young university student and the son of a Mercedes-Benz dealer. His father, dismayed by his son's choice of driving a Porsche, insisted he drive a car from the family business. Bodo reluctantly agreed, taking a brand new Mercedes S-Class, the W126. He found it comfortable, capable, and tragically, agonizingly slow. He looked at this symbol of ultimate achievement and saw only its limits. This dissatisfaction is the secret. Where Mercedes saw a finished product, Bodo Buschmann saw a blank canvas. He saw a wolf trapped in a sheep's clothing. He began to tinker in the back of his father's dealership, hot-rodding the S-Class. When his father's customers saw his modified car, they didn't scoff. They asked, "Can you do that to my car?" Realizing he was onto something, he decided to start a company. The law required he have a partner, so he founded it with a friend, Klaus Brackmann. They needed a name, Buschmann and Brackmann GmbH. They allegedly decided the name with a coin toss, agreeing to combine the first three letters of their last names. BRA from Brackmann, Bus from Buschmann. Brabus was born. From that first day, the philosophy was set in stone, and it was a direct challenge to the establishment. It was not power within limits. It was power beyond limits. Brabus would not be a simple tuner. It would be a shadow manufacturer, a skunkworks operating in plain sight, dedicated to answering one question. What happens when you take German perfection and introduce a streak of utter, unrestrained madness? The Brabus process begins with an act that most would consider sacrilege. It starts with a brand new, factory-fresh, six-figure Mercedes-Benz. It could be an S-Class sedan, the pinnacle of luxury, or a G-Wagon, the icon of off-road prowess. It has 0 miles on the odometer. It is flawless. It is, by any definition, finished. And the first thing they do is tear it apart. This is the Brabus teardown. It is not the rusty, chaotic disassembly of a restoration project. It is a clinical, precise, and systematic dissection. The car is rolled into the immaculate workshop in Bottrop, Germany. Within hours, the engine and transmission, the very heart and soul bestowed by Mercedes-Benz, are unceremoniously extracted and mounted on a stand. The interior is gutted. The plush, hand-stitched leather seats, the wood grain trim, the carpets, all removed, cataloged, and set aside. The factory bumpers, fenders, and exhaust system are unbolted and discarded. What is left is a bare, pristine, and very expensive shell. This is the moment of supreme audacity. Brabus is not fixing something that is broken. It is taking a masterpiece, breaking it down to its core components, and implicitly stating, "We can do this better. We can make it faster. We can make it stronger." This deconstruction is an engineering inquest. The shell is 3D scanned. The engine bay is analyzed for space. The stock engine block is carted off not to the scrap heap, but to the in-house engine room for interrogation. They are looking for the limits that Bodo Buschmann so despised. They are looking for the points of failure, not in reliability but in performance. Where did Mercedes compromise? Where did they choose comfort over speed? Where did they choose silence over sound? This process is the secret. While other tuners are plugging in laptops and chipping an ECU, Brabus is pulling the engine. They have found the car's built-in limits, and now they are preparing to obliterate them. This is where the Brabus legend is forged, deep within the Motorenbau, the engine-building department. This is not a typical tuning shop. It is an engineering sanctuary, a laboratory of horsepower, and where the black magic truly happens. Anyone can plug in a laptop and chip an ECU for a little extra power. Brabus does not. They begin by pulling the factory engine out of the car. Their philosophy is famously, almost brutally, simple, and it is their greatest secret. There is no replacement for displacement. It's an American hot rod ethos, but executed with German precision and obsession. A stock V8 or V12 block from Mercedes-AMG, itself a masterpiece, is, to Brabus, just raw clay. Is taken to the machine shop and the surgery begins. First is boring. The original cylinders are drilled out, making their diameter larger. This allows for the installation of custom, larger, stronger, forged pistons. Second, and this is the real secret, is stroking. Brabus removes the original Mercedes crankshaft and replaces it with a custom-milled unit, forged from a single, solid billet of steel. This new crankshaft has a longer throw. This means it pushes the piston further up and down inside the cylinder. The combination of a bigger piston, bore, and a longer travel stroke physically increases the engine's total volume. This is how a 6.0-liter Mercedes engine can become a Brabus 6.3 or 6.7. And in its most ultimate form, the 6.0 LV12 is transformed into the legendary 7.3. That 7.3 isn't a decorative badge. It's an engineering statement. A 7.3-liter displacement that Brabus created. This is why, legally in Germany, Brabus is recognized as an engine manufacturer, Motorenhersteller, not just a tuner. But displacement is only half of the equation. The other half is air. Brabus removes the stock AMG turbochargers, which were designed for a balance of performance and quiet comfort, and replaces them with their own bespoke turbochargers. These have larger compressor wheels, more robust bearings, and are designed for one purpose only: to ram a massive volume of air into those larger cylinders. Of course, these bigger turbos need a supporting ecosystem. Brabus fabricates new, high-flow exhaust manifolds, often from Inconel, an F1-grade superalloy, to spin the turbos faster. They install massive, custom-made intercoolers to chill that compressed air, making it denser with oxygen. The entire exhaust system is replaced with a high-flow, stainless steel system with butterfly valves. To feed this new monster, they upgrade the entire fuel system, new pumps, new injectors, and finally, the brain. Brabus does not trick the stock ECU with a piggyback chip. They completely rewrite the fuel and ignition maps from scratch. They spend thousands of hours on the engine dyno, programming an entirely new brain that knows how to command this new, larger displacement hardware and its more powerful turbochargers. And here is the soul, the Brabus one-man, one-engine philosophy, a mirror and an escalation of AMG's own. A single motormeister, master engine builder, takes all of these custom components and assembles the entire engine by hand, from the bare block to the final dress-up. They torque every bolt, they check every clearance. Their name is affixed to a small, signed metal plaque on the engine cover. That is not a marketing gimmick. It is a personal guarantee. It is a promise from that human being that this 900 horsepower heart will not explode. The most famous creation is the Rocket V12. This engine produces 900 horsepower and an almost fictional torque figure, 1,500 Newton-meters, 1,107 lb-ft. This number is so high that Brabus must electronically limit it to only 1,100 Newton-meters to prevent it from tearing the transmission and driveshafts to pieces. That fact alone is the ultimate testament. Brabus not only had to re-engineer the engine, they had to re-engineer the entire drivetrain, transmission, prop shafts, differentials, just to handle the power they had created. The glory is not a coat of paint. It is a meticulously blueprint, dyno-tested, mechanical instrument of terrifying force. The final assembly is a metamorphosis. This is where the beast, its monstrous heart now transplanted, receives its new, terrifying skin. The car, which returned from the Motorenbau as a sleeper, a quiet-looking car with a secret, is now rolled into the aesthetics and bodywork department to be given a form that matches its function. This is where it receives its iconic, menacing presence. The quiet, elegant, and wind tunnel-tested Mercedes-Benz body panels are dismissed. They are replaced with the Brabus Widestar body kit. This is not some cheap, bolt-on fiberglass flare. It is an aggressively beautiful, functional, and perfectly integrated suit of armor, often rendered in lightweight, pre-preg carbon fiber. The fenders are dramatically flared, adding inches to the car's overall width, giving it an unmistakable, ground-hugging stance that is both brutal and sophisticated. These new arches are not just for show. They are a necessity, required to house the massive new wheels and the car's wider, more stable track. The newly formed wheel wells are then filled with the second part of the Brabus signature, the monoblock wheels. These are not just rims. They are massive, often 23 or 24-inch, forged alloy components. Forged is the key word. They are incredibly strong while remaining as light as possible, reducing unsprung mass to help the car's new, recalibrated suspension cope with the power. These wheels, in turn, are wrapped in bespoke, high-performance tires from technology partners like Continental, Pirelli, or Yokohama, often with a compound specially formulated to handle the unique combination of the vehicle's high weight and its otherworldly horsepower. Tucked behind these wheels is the non-negotiable, life-saving component, the braking system. A car with 900 horsepower cannot be stopped by stock brakes. Brabus installs colossal, multi-piston calipers, often painted a bright, arresting red or yellow, which bite down on ventilated, carbon ceramic discs that can be larger in diameter than the wheels on a normal compact car. And then comes the car's voice. A bespoke, stainless steel, high-performance exhaust system is fitted from the engine back. This is not just a loud muffler. It is a valvetronic orchestra. With the touch of a button, the car can be in coming home mode. A deep, bassy, civilized thrum that merely hints at the power under the hood, allowing the driver to leave their neighborhood without breaking windows. But then, with another press, the valves open. This is sport mode. This is the Black Symphony. It is a deep, guttural, earth-shaking basso profundo that is the signature sound of a high-displacement Brabus engine. It is not the high-pitched shriek of a small Italian V10. It is the civilized, terrifying roar of a Titan. Finally, the interior. The driver's inner sanctum. This is the Brabus masterpiece department. The stock Mercedes interior, already a benchmark of global luxury, is dismissed as merely adequate. The entire cabin is reimagined. This is where the bespoke element of Brabus truly shines. We are not talking about choosing from 2 or 3 leather options. We are talking about an open-ended question. What do you want? The garage is filled with the rich, heady smell of square meters of the finest, most supple hides. The seats are retrimmed in Brabus seashell quilting, or any other custom pattern the client can dream of. The headliner is redone in Alcantara, often with a starlight fiber optic roof. The factory-wood trim is replaced with carbon fiber in any weave or color, or exotic woods sourced from a client's yacht. The steering wheel is recontoured, made thicker. The carpets, the floor mats, everything is new. It is the bespoke tailoring of a Seville row suit, but for a 200 miles per hour missile. The last, symbolic act of this transformation arrives. The 3-pointed star, the global symbol of automotive perfection and luxury, is carefully removed from the grille, the trunk, and the steering wheel. In its place, the bold, block letter B of Brabus is installed. This is the final, deliberate act of defiance. It is no longer a Mercedes-Benz. It is a Brabus. The glory is now fully realized. The car is complete. It is rolled out, its black paint looking miles deep, onto Brabus's private test track or, more famously, unleashed on the unrestricted sections of the German Autobahn. The driver settles into the hand-stitched leather. They breathe on the accelerator. The word accelerate is too weak. It erupts. It detonates. There is no lag. There is just an unrelenting, brutal, and endless wave of torque that compresses your chest into the seat. The true Brabus experience is one of cognitive dissonance. It's the feeling of a 5,500-pound G-Wagon, with the aerodynamics of a brick, launching from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, a time that humiliates dedicated sports cars. It is the Rocket 900 S-Class, a 2.5-ton luxury limousine, silently, terrifyingly, and with perfect stability, passing 200, 210, 220, 227 miles per hour. This is not a car. It is the physical manifestation of Bodo Buschmann's original dissatisfaction. It is a wolf, not in sheep's clothing, but in wolf's clothing. It is German perfection, deconstructed, re-engineered, and unleashed. It is power taken far, far beyond the limits.